So what I've done is I've laid out some masking tape on top of the wing, and I've just temporarily taped the carbon rod in place just to show you where it's going to go. Now what we've got is a dimension from the front of the carbon rod to the top of the wing of 300mm here, and it's a 6mm carbon rod, so 306 from there as well. Now on this side here, to get it nice and square, just keep checking that dimension there to this dimension here, and it should be the same, and also that dimension there. So I've got that dimension of what's that? That's 185mm, and down here I've got the same 185mm. I spent about 5 minutes just tweaking it right just before I started recording. So that's to show you where it's going to go. Now what I've also got here is can't quite see it, but I've made a mark in the middle where the centre point of this carbon rod is. So what we're going to do is similar to the way we put the strips in. We're going to cut 2 lines, scalpel lines down through there, and then we're going to pluck out the foam using our good old snipe nose pliers. Alright, so using a biro, I'm just going to mark a line there and a line there and a line there. So that's 2 sides of the rod, there, and well, I'll line it there. Okay, so I'll take that off. This is the carbon rod, obviously, and then what the plan is now is to use the we can use the aileron as a straight edge to cut out the material. So I'll just show you the procedure. Just cut a line through, obviously again, if you've got a brand new knife blade, that's what you want to use. Now if you get it wrong, don't worry, what we're going to use is the Gorilla Glue to fill it up. It's an amazing glue. Don't know if you've not used it before. It's great for it expands and glues at the same time, so you can make the slot quite big. We've cut out the slot. Well, we've now this is the procedure. What I do is I get that up there for you. It's just a simple case of getting your pliers in there and dig it all out. Now what we're going to have to do is, because the wing is there's more material here, there's more material here than there is there, so we're going to have to cut out more from the tip than the centre section. So what I'll do is I'll do that, and then I'll fast forward it as I'm doing it, and then you can see the procedure. Okay, so we've got the carbon rod, and it's a pretty good fit in there now. And what you've got to make sure of is that the centre section here is totally underneath the foam, because obviously we want it nice and smooth there. So I'm going to take this tape off now. We don't need it. It's done its job. And just check it over one more time. It looks a bit high here, so it's just a case of tweaking it around. Now what we're going to do is use the Gorilla Glue to bond it in, but we're also going to put some CA glue on the outer tips and the centre section, so because as the Gorilla Glue expands, it could push the rod out, so we want to hold it in place. Alright, so what I've got in here is some Gorilla Glue, and from here, and I'm just going to mix it up with a little bit of water, and that'll do, and then we can use that. I mean, you can either mix it up in a container like this and then feed it into the slot, or just pour it into the slot and then put the water on top. It doesn't really make any difference, but my sprayer thing's broken on my thingy water bottle, so I'm going to do it this way. Alright, so what we do is we just goop it in. Actually, I will do it that way. It's just a case of gooping it in. And what I'll do is I just leave about a centimetre in the middle, or about an inch actually, so that then we can CA it in the middle. It's more important to CA the middle than the wingtips, because the wingtip is where the middle is where it's going to expand out. So with a little bit of water, just mix up the Gorilla Glue, and that will start it expanding. It'll take a little while to kick off, but you know, once it's doing it, it really goes for it. Obviously, if you've got any foam in there still, just hook it out like that. Just use, you know, a little bit more, use your judgment, a little bit more there, I think. It does expand up pretty good. Alright, so what I'll do then is we're going to insert the tube. So this is the 6x1 carbon tube, and just push it in snugly. And when you've got two of these on top of each other, one on the upper surface of the wing, one on the lower, you really get a very strong beam created. And so that's just getting off some. So there we go, that's in there. What I'm going to do is hit it with some super glue here, and then use some kicker on it to set that, so that won't bubble up now. And it's just a case of, well, I mean, sorry, the foam can't push it up. So what I'll do is a bit more here as well, a bit on the corner, on the tips. and then kick it off as well. Alright, and that's it. So that's how to put the spar in the wing. Now what will happen is this Gorilla Glue will expand like crazy, and that's great. That's just what we want. We want it to fill up all of the cavity that we've made, and then we can then, with a brand new knife again, we can then just cut it off. It's very easy to cut off afterwards. So I'm just putting some on the top so that in case there's no you know, so that it all expands up. And what we'll have is we'll have a nice bubbled out bit, and once we've cut it off it will be nice and smooth to the top surface of the wing. Easy as that. And to be honest, you don't actually have to mix it too much with water, because it just pulls the water out of the air, and in the conditions we're in, there's plenty of that at the moment. Alright, well, that's about it. I will the procedure is the same for the bottom surface. Oh, hi guys, it's actually been another 24 hours since I've done the Gorilla Glue, and you can see how it's all bubbled up. And so the next stage is to just cut off the glue. So what we'll do is, with a brand new, well, I haven't got a brand new one, but I'll have to try my best with this one. With basically, with a sort of sawing action, just get your knife in there, just cut off the excess glue. Try not to go too big, and try not to leave too much on. So it's quite tough, you can see. Now if there's some left over, you can sand it as well. Okay. There we go. So you can see it comes off pretty good. It's a bit deep there. Start this way. So if you screw up like that, just start the other way, and then should be alright. Okay, that'll do. Now what last sort of step is what I've got here is this is a permagrit tool, and it's carbide, so it's really tough and but never blunts. So they're a good investment. And this is the coarse one. You can see it's getting that off quite nicely. Now, to be honest, you don't need really a really good finish, because I mean, obviously like that, if you can see that, there's a bit of a like high point there, and so that needs coming off. But you don't need a really great finish, because once we've covered it in the laminate, it's going to make it nice and smooth anyway.